If you care enough to be the very best at this, your feelings and senses will take you into many areas that you don't even know you're in at this moment.
Welcome to our new series of vidal sassoon training videos. Complete, this set will give you a unique library of fresh cuts, some combined with interesting perms, others with exciting colouring techniques. Mastering these will extend your knowledge and expertise, will give new inspiration to your creativity, and will add profitability to your career path. The vidal sassoon way is for those who really care about their craft. Our tradition of precision cutting, combined with classic and high fashion design, has kept us at the forefront of international hairdressing for over 30 years. What has really made the difference is our commitment to training. For our own apprentices, assistants, and the students we instruct at our schools and academies, and the shows and seminars we hold around the world, everything begins and ends with training and practice. Everyone who has ever worked or studied with us will tell you that training is our lifeblood. So practice cutting, colouring and perming, and be ever more critical of your work and your art, just as we are. Because like us, you know that practice makes perfect.
Welcome to the white winter technique, a pure shape which makes the hair look dramatic, precise and polished. With yin-yang colour achieved by balancing two contrasting areas of colour on one shape. Notice how the hair is sectioned off just above the ear and held down at a 45-degree angle. Start through the centre back with a vertical section and cut a line that works from short to long. Subsequent sections are taken parallel and over-directed onto the previously cut hair. Comb each section down and check the evenness of graduation as you go. Notice how the section behind the ear is over-directed back to maintain weight in this area. Now, repeat this procedure on the second side. Now take a further section that divides the head from ear to ear. Take a vertical section and comb the hair straight out from the head whilst angling your fingers square to maintain weight through the top of the section. Cut this section using a pointing technique and notice that this section does not blend technically with the section underneath. This will give an exaggerated shape to the back area. Once again, subsequent sections are over-directed back onto the previously cut hair. It is important to check that the two areas of graduation are blending visually. Now, repeat this same sectioning and cutting procedure for the second side. cross-check these areas for symmetry. A sassoon haircut is all about attention to detail. Point the edges of the outline shape to give this haircut a stronger, more contemporary feel. To blend the sides into the length through the back, take a diagonal section and comb the hair down onto the skin, holding the section gently, and cut an A-line shape that follows the line of the jaw. Again, use a very light pointing technique. This helps the hair to bevel onto the face. Subsequent sections are combed down onto the guideline. Notice that the front hairline has been sectioned off in a triangle around the temple area. This will be used later to further extend the dynamics of the shape. Continue taking parallel sections up to the central parting. Once both sides are complete, blend the graduation from the back into the front by taking diagonal sections, lifting the hair up and back to the crown area. Once again, use a pointing technique to soften the edge of the line, thereby creating less bulk within each section. This makes the hair more malleable. Once again, cross-checking ensures symmetry. Now, incorporate the front section, which had previously been left out. Take diagonal sections, over-direct the hair back, and angle your fingers away from the face. This will leave extended length through the front area. Once again, use a pointing technique. Once all the front sections are complete, comb the hair down onto the skin and cut a line using a pointing technique that works from the length through the side down into the extended length through the front. Repeat this same cutting procedure on the second side. Dry the hair loosely, still maintaining a degree of finish, and proceed to refine the whole shape using a variety of slicing, pointing, and scissor over comb techniques. This is an intrinsic part of the overall finished look, and care should be taken to ensure that this part of the technique is executed thoroughly. yin-yang color technique will now be demonstrated. This color process is designed to add a completely new dimension to the overall effect. Start by carefully sectioning the areas where the two contrasting shades will be placed. In this instance, a zigzag section has been taken from the front hairline through to an area behind the ears. This gives alternating triangles which interlock across the top of the head. Cover the hair behind the ears with foil. It is imperative that the two colors to be used do not mix. When coloring around the ear, place the section in foil so as not to stain the skin. The color being used here is a blue concentrate with a 6% oxidant. Now, continue up to the apex of this triangular section, taking extreme care not to overlap into the sections either side, as this is the key to the yin-yang technique. Here you can clearly see the acute angle of the sectioning, which will emphasize the graphical nature of this color technique. Once this section is complete, move to the triangular section created around the front hairline. Again, use foil to protect the forehead. Continue with the original color. Here are the first two completed triangles. Now, tint the remaining hair with a contrasting shade of color. Before you commence, make sure that the hair that has been colored is protected to keep the colors separated. This new color is an ash and pastel tone mixed. Depth or level 10 and 11. With a 12% oxidant. Tint all the remaining hair using normal tint application procedure. Allow the colors to process according to manufacturer's instructions. Dry the hair using a suitable finishing product to give the look shine and definition. White winter with yin-yang color, pure originality from Vidal Sassoon.
If you care enough to be the very best at this, your feelings and senses will take you into many areas that you don't even know you're in at this moment.
Welcome to our new series of Vidal Sassoon training videos. Complete, this set will give you a unique library of fresh cuts, some combined with interesting perms, others with exciting colouring techniques. Mastering these will extend your knowledge and expertise, will give new inspiration to your creativity, and will add profitability to your career path. The Vidal Sassoon way is for those who really care about their craft. Our tradition of precision cutting, combined with classic and high-fashion design, has kept us at the forefront of international hairdressing for over 30 years. What has really made the difference is our commitment to training. For our own apprentices, assistants, and the students we instruct at our schools and academies, and the shows and seminars we hold around the world, everything begins and ends with training and practice. Everyone who has ever worked or studied with us will tell you that training is our lifeblood. So practice cutting, colouring and perming, and be ever more critical of your work and your art, just as we are. Because like us, you know that practice makes perfect.
Welcome to the twist haircut with triad perm. The twist haircut is a short, textured shape which can be created on hair with natural movement or, as in this case, with the addition of a directional perm. When a perm is needed to give necessary movement and texture, the hair should be permed first. In this instance, we require a soft tousled effect similar to a natural hair texture that can be easily cut and styled after the perm. To achieve this result, we have created a technique called the triad perm wind. It is important that the hair be layered through prior to the perm to facilitate the winding process. Shampoo the hair thoroughly, then take a section from ear to ear across the top of the head. Depending on the thickness of hair and the size of perm rod to be used, take a triangular section from your parting to the forehead. The size of perm rods used will determine the amount of texture. In this instance, we are using a large perm rod through the top area. Lift the section, combing it in the desired direction, so that you have hair wound to the roots and hair dragged away from the roots within the same section. Now start your wind. The hair must be pre-damped with water when starting the wind, as perm lotion is not evenly distributed on dry hair. You can either post-damp or pre-damp, depending on the lotion you choose to use. Working down towards the ear, take further triangular sections. Each section slots into the next one, but the hair must be lifted in the opposite direction to create a different root movement. These sections can be slightly irregular, but are placed in a concise way like a brickwork wind. With a triad section perm, as the head is round, you can take as many thick or thin sections as you wish, and they will always fit onto the head shape. For the section above the ear, pull the hair straight out and wind so as not to create any lift around the hairline. Repeat the same procedure for the other half of the front. Note how each section is lifted in a different direction. The first to the left, the second to the right, and the third to the back of each triangular section. End papers folded lengthways are threaded through the bands of 2 rods to minimize band marking and to hold the perm rods firmly in place. Having done the front section, we now take a further section behind the first one of the same thickness. This time, the perm rods are purposely placed in the opposite direction to the first row, so that the rods do not sit next to each other, but correspond in opposite directions. Again, you wind in the same manner as before, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and 1 to the back of each triangular section. Remember that your last section on the hairline is wound straight out so as not to create any lift. Again, thread end papers under the rubber bands to minimize band marking and to help support the perm rods. Your next main section is taken horizontally across the back of the head, and the same sectioning and winding procedures are followed as before. Remember to keep the hair dampened with water before applying perm solution to each strand. Continue sectioning and winding as before until you reach the nape area, remembering to wind your hairline sections straight out to minimize lift around this area. As before, place end papers under your rubber bands where necessary. Finally, reapply fresh lotion evenly throughout the hair. Process your perm according to hair type and manufacturer's instructions. We would recommend thorough rinsing and blot drying before applying the neutralizer. Here is the finished triad perm, a soft tousled effect similar to a natural hair texture. Now for the twist haircut. This technique combines layers with freehand finish. Natural and easily worn, this look may easily be adapted to different lengths and textures. Start by sectioning across the top of the head from ear to ear. Next, take a center section from the crown to the front hairline. Start at the top by taking a section and pulling straight out from the head. Cut a section following the head shape, using the pointing method to give the ends of the hair a varying texture. Take a parallel section and very slightly over-direct onto the previous section. When using this method, make sure that your sectioning is very clean. Keep taking parallel sections to your original center parting and over-direct slightly more as the head rounds off, so as to retain weight in the temple areas. Check the shape visually as you progress. This procedure is repeated on both sides of the front. Remember to take sections parallel to your original parting and over-direct slightly more as the head rounds off. Again, check your shape visually as you progress. Keep taking parallel sections to your original center parting and over-direct slightly more as the head rounds off, so as to retain weight in the temple area. The side sections are cut using the guideline created by the top sections. Now, take a vertical section and pull it straight out from the head, working down to the top of the ear. Cut the section following the head shape, making sure not to angle in too tight around the hairline. Continue by taking parallel sections, working from the ear to the front. Again, use the pointing method to give the ends of the hair a varying texture. Through the sideburn area, take curved sections to leave your outline longer and softer. Check your shape for visual balance. As you reach the temple area, over-direct your last few sections up and out to leave your outline longer and softer. Repeat the same procedure on the other side of the front. Remember, keep an even tension on your sections when you are pointing, and check your shape regularly as you work through. Here is the front of the twist haircut completed. For the back, start by taking a hairline section from behind the ear to the nape. Use the side sections as a guideline for the length. Lift the hair straight out from the head to leave softness and a little more length on the outline. Again, use the pointing method to give the ends of the hair varying texture. Continue by taking parallel sections and over-direct slightly onto the previously cut guideline. Your line should begin to pivot onto a diagonal plane. Lift each section up and out as you reach the nape area to leave a little more length. As you reach the center back, you will have excess weight through this area. This is due to your over-direction. Check this out when both sides of the back have been completed. Check your shape visually, assessing balance and texture. Now, follow the same sectioning and cutting procedure for the other side of the back. Again, remember to keep an even tension on the sections you are pointing. As you progress, check the balance of your shape against the previously cut side. Remember to pivot your sections onto a diagonal plane. Once you have completed the nape, you are left with length at the center back. Take a center section from the crown to the occipital bone and remove the weight in between by taking parallel sections using the crown and nape as your guide. Remember to follow the head shape. Subsequent sections are taken parallel to the first and over-directed slightly towards the center. This will leave weight where the head rounds off in the back. This technique compensates for any natural flatness of the head shape. Repeat this same cutting and pointing procedure for the other side. Again, check your shape visually, assessing balance and texture. Here is your basic shape complete. Before proceeding to texturize the haircut, apply a suitable finishing product through the hair. Now, starting at the crown, take small sections and twist the hair. Work the blades of your scissors up the length of the twisted hair, ensuring that the blades of your scissors are not closed completely. Work in this manner towards the front hairline. When you have finished a couple of sections, assess the texture you have achieved. You may find that you need to point into the tips of the hair further. Around the hairlines, use a combination of twist cutting, pointing and slicing to achieve the desired effect. This method of finishing is particularly useful when working with a freshly permed texture. So here you have it, the twist haircut with triad section perm. A refreshing combination of new perm technique combined with a confident and immensely wearable haircut. Another great look from Vidal Sassoon.